Mary Agnes Maroney was born on May 10, 1928, to parents Catherine and Michael in Chicago, Illinois. In the spring of 1930, Mary's mother, Catherine, was 17 years old and pregnant with her third child. No, that's not a mistake. It appears that Catherine and Michael married when she was 13 and he was 27. On May 15, 1930, a woman calling herself Julia Otis, claiming to be a social worker, was visiting the family for a second time. Otis found out about the couple after they placed an ad in the newspaper asking for assistance and brought them some gifts. During the second visit, she asked if she could take little Mary shopping for some clothes, and Catherine agreed. After leaving, Mary was never seen again. At some point, the Maroneys received a letter from Otis saying she'd taken Mary to California and would return in a couple of months. Here's the letter in its entirety. Please don't be alarmed. I have taken your little girl to California with me. I have hired a special nurse to care for her. We'll be back in 2 months. By that time, you will be on your feet again and will be able to care for her. She didn't even cry a bit. She is outfitted like a princess. In the meantime, I'll help all I can to get you on your feet. Don't worry about her or anything else. When you get this letter, we'll be on our way already. As ever, Julia Otis. However, 2 weeks later, Otis's cousin Alice Henderson wrote the family and told them a different story. She said her cousin had lost her husband and baby a year earlier, and now she was, and I quote, love hungry. After the second letter, the Maroneys would never hear anything from them again. Investigators believe the letters might have been written by the same person because the handwriting is the same. It's unclear at this point who Otis really was, but Mary ended up in the hands of Jeanette and Frank Darris, and they raised her as their only child and named her Jeanette. Her adopted mother's full name was Jeanette Calerick Darris, and it's unknown whether or not she was Otis. In 1934, 4 years after Mary's abduction, her new family moved to Virginia. At some point in her life, Jeanette and Frank informed her that Jeanette was not her birth mother, but nothing else ever came of it. In 1952, Catherine got a shred of hope when a 24-year-old woman by the name of Mary McClelland came forward and claimed to be the long-lost Mary Maroney. Somehow they were able to identify her as a member of the Maroney family by examining her skull and blood. Catherine even met McClelland and claimed to recognize her. However, a doctor by the name of E.W. Marathu came forward and said he knew McClelland and had delivered her on November 17, 1927, to an unknown mother. Her adoptive mother also provided a photo of her from 1928, proving she was adopted 2 years before Mary was kidnapped. Mary also had a scar from a ruptured navel, but McClelland was missing that scar. As for the real Mary, she went on to have 3 children of her own and was married twice. She also worked as a nurse for the last 50 years. Unfortunately, in 2003, Mary, aka Jeanette Burchard, passed away in Florida without ever learning who her real parents were. When grandchildren from the Maroney family began doing DNA testing, they discovered they were related to Jeanette Burchard and her daughter, Terry Arnold. Terry had also done a DNA test and was surprised to find her ancestors came from Ireland and not Poland, as she always thought. Through the DNA testing, Terry was able to connect with her long-lost cousins, and from there, they realized that Jeanette Burchard was really Mary Agnes Maroney. Mary's parents went on to have 8 children, and sadly, Mary never got to experience her large family. At least in the end, Terry was able to connect with her cousins and exchange photos of their lives they never knew existed.